Hello and welcome back to another session of Daniel's Security Academy. Today we are going to talk about clickbaiting and if this is a social engineering attack. And before we go into the details here, I also want to highlight that more than 80% of you watching this video are not subscribed to this channel. And I know a lot of YouTubers currently doing the same thing and give you the stats and ask you to please subscribe. But for a small channel like me, it's very important to have 1, 2, 3 more subscribers because it actually counts. Every single person counts for me. And so I just broke through the 100 mark. So I would be really happy to get some more subscribers to my channel. And thank you so much already for you subscribing now. And yeah, let's just dive into the topic. So the question I brought today is clickbaiting a social engineering attack? And I want to talk about social engineering really quickly because I already did a video about social engineering. And I want to briefly also talk about clickbaiting. Most of you know what's clickbaiting, but just a few words about it. And then I'm going to go into the detail. Why is clickbaiting social engineering and why is it so effective? So let's start with the overview about social engineering. So a little recap to what I've done in the past video. In social engineering, attackers are trying to exploit several emotions or characteristics of human beings. And 5 of the main and core emotions are helpfulness, fear, greed, urgency, curiosity. And by the last one, you already understood curiosity. This might be an important emotion for clickbaiting. But let's pause this and park this and let's talk about typical attacks we have seen or we do see in social engineering. For example, a phishing attack. A phishing attack, every one of you knows. You have seen those emails, you have received those emails. You might have fallen already for it because some of those emails can look very sophisticated. If it's, for example, spear phishing or just a very good phishing campaign. And this is probably the most dominant example you're gonna see in social engineering attacks. But there's so many more examples of social engineering attacks. Like, for example, also the second example I want to give you is pretexting. So pretending to be someone. And I want to give you a real world example here as well. And because it was shown multiple times that men carrying a ladder could easily walk into any kind of venue or event because the controlling or the security personnel would think, okay, they are here for fixing something, so just get them in, and they don't even need to show anything, no ID card, no tickets, ID card mainly. So they was just like, okay, get in, and they just pretend to be someone by the look they have, maybe the way they talk, maybe the things they are doing. They're pretending to be someone, and on this way they can execute something. Usually it's just getting access to an event they want to get into because they maybe were not able to get tickets or so. But yeah, those are typical examples of social engineering attacks. And let's move it over to what is clickbaiting. And clickbaiting is using the curiosity or the curious characteristic of a human being to get them to click on something. So it could be something like get people to watch a video, like maybe I did with my video, where I used the title or thumbnail to get your attention by something. And it is something which became very, very popular in the previous years. So a lot of titles and thumbnails you're gonna see on YouTube are very catchy and almost clickbaiting. I almost died. this is the best I've done in my life, or those kind of extremes which are used for clickbaiting. And but you can also use those clickbaiting techniques, and for example for news, when newspapers or maybe also other sources, they publish a teaser on social media, just a teaser text, maybe 3-4 lines, like the picture, which is a link going to the actual news page of the website. And in this kind of teaser, they want to get your attention and like, oh yeah, I really want to know what 90% of the human beings on the world are thinking about XYZ ad. And then you need to click on it and get to a website and actually read the article to find out what is actually meant with the title. And very often also, websites are hiding the actual article behind a paywall. So you need to pay for a subscription to be able to actually read the article, because without the subscription you will only be able to read the first 3 or 4 lines. And that's how they get the attention of users, of you, of me, and how they are growing their business. It also works, for example, for podcasts. Just throw out a very short clip with something you said on the podcast, which will draw the attention, which is kind of clickbaiting in a different sense of not clicking on something, but getting someone into something by just stating something extreme or crucial. And there's just so many more examples I could give you what clickbaiting is, but in the end, it is going down or boiling down to the fact it is attracting people's attention. That is what the purpose of clickbaiting is and what clickbaiting is used for. So now I still owe you the explanation why clickbaiting is a social engineering attack and where the bridge between those is. So in social engineering attacks, usually you focus on getting some confidential data or access to restricted areas. But in a wider sense, the attention of people can also be seen as a target for social engineering. Like the attention maybe is not as valuable as money, as confidential data, as confidential access to something, but might be even worth also something in the end. You never know where it might be connected to. So people are getting tricked into something by the clickbait, tricked into a video, click in onto something, click into a news page, and maybe also tricked maybe to a phishing campaign. So they are triggered by the curiosity. And due to the curiosity of people, it is insanely effective method, even though clickbaiting is a very frowned upon technique with a huge group of people. So a lot of people who are a lot on YouTube maybe, I'm a YouTube kid, I can spend hours on YouTube. Usually people like me, we hate clickbait because it's just someone, just trying to get more viewers. But sometimes I still fall for it. I'm like, damn, this looks actually interesting. So I click on it and I watch the video and I'm like, wasn't as good as the title or the thumbnail was carrying it out. So no one's perfect. I'm definitely someone who is not very effective or affected by the curiosity emotion. So I'm not a very curious person in that sense. So I'm usually like, when I see some news teaser, I'm like, okay, if you don't want to tell me the truth already in the teaser, keep the article. I'm not going to click it and just go scroll past it. So, but this is just me. I know a lot of people are very curious and like to hear the newest stuff and the best stuff as soon as they can. And most people actually react to the emotion of curiosity. Most people do. There are a few examples, like maybe I'm also just weaker on the reaction on this one. You might be as well weaker on the reaction of curiosity. But if you maybe clicked on this video, you might be even a curious person. And one example I want to give you for the curiosity part is cybercriminals pay also attention to the news and events, what's happening around the world, and news coverages. And they take advantage of the human curiosity around those events. And they pretty much trick the victims into like social engineering attacks. So what they did, for example, is after the second Boeing MAX 8 plane crashed, cybercriminals sent emails, phishing emails, or just widespread emails, with attachments that claim to include leaked data about the crash. So whoever received the email was able to get the first information, which is not publicly known yet, but you were like one of the chosen ones to get this kind of leaked data. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Why would you get those kind of information for free? So obviously it's a fraud, it's a social engineering attack, but yeah, in reality the attachment installed some kind of malware on the victim's computer. So yeah, attachment wasn't definitely not some pictures of leaked data. So can you work against it? Yes, by not clicking on clickbaits, for example. But then at the same time you have the typical fear of missing out, which might grab you and let you open another clickbaited video or news article, even though you were like, I don't want to get another clickbaited article and video. But yeah, the fear of missing out, the curiosity of the human being is definitely something which will ever be very effective for social engineering attacks. And yeah, this will not stop anytime soon. Yeah, thank you so much for watching until this point. Let me know what you think. Do you also believe that clickbaiting is a social engineering attack? And do you also think it's very effective? Do you think it's maybe changing? Is clickbaiting getting less? I don't think so, but maybe you have the opinion. So let me know. Any feedback is very appreciated. And I really do hope to see you in the next videos. Yeah, subscribe please, and stay safe, and bye-bye.